Exploring Idaho, the television adventure showcasing our state's unique people and places, is brought to you by your local Jeep and Eagle dealers. Albertsons, the Idaho Department of Commerce, and KTVB Channel 7. Let your favorite chair become a front row seat to adventure as we take you exploring Idaho.
On this edition of Exploring Idaho, experience llama packing in the pristine wilderness of the Sawtooth Mountains. Then go mountain biking through tunnels and over towering trestles on a daring ride in the Bitterroot Mountains of North Idaho. And catch gold fever with some colorful characters in the old mining town of Murray.
Hello and welcome to Exploring Idaho from the middle of Boise's beautiful botanical garden. If your own gardening chores have gotten a little tedious, then maybe you need to pay the garden a visit. You'll find some inspiration here. And if the summer doldrums have hit your home in a big way, then maybe you need to head to the cool Idaho mountains. You'll definitely find inspiration there. Today on Exploring Idaho, we are going to take you to 3 Idaho getaways that are perfect for the whole family. We begin in the Rocky Mountains of central Idaho, in the heart of the Sawtooths. They have been called the jagged jewels of Idaho. The granite spires of the Sawtooth Mountains dominate the sky in every direction. Emerald blue lakes dot the lush pine forest. There are over 300 miles of trails here, leading you to incredible sights. Scenes of alpine meadows and snow-fed streams. A midsummer storm blanketing the forest with a light dusting of snow. The new snow quickly melting as the morning sun peeks through the misty clouds. It takes a little effort to get to this remote backcountry. Some people ride in on horses. Others hike in, carrying heavy backpacks. But yet another way to reach the high country is gaining in popularity. Llama packing. And there's a good reason these curious little animals are so popular. They make bringing in supplies a lot easier.
I know people my age that have families that used to backpack, and they've quit doing it because they can't take all the kids, they can't take the gear they need. But llamas give you that opportunity. You can take young children out and the supplies you need and be real comfortable out here.
Depending on its size and condition, the average llama can carry up to 100 pounds. They'll pack just about anything.
By having a pack animal like that, we're able to get into some of the more remote areas where the general public isn't. And then we can experience the wilderness more and still have the whole family.
These llama packing families are on the trail to Hell Roaring Lake. It's one of the many high mountain lakes nestled in the granite peaks of the Sawtooth National Recreation Area.
When you start working with an animal, you form a relationship with that llama. They're kind of your buddy on the trail.
The gentle personality of the llama adds to the wilderness experience. And for this reason, they are sometimes called the silent brother. They're so quiet as they walk the forested trails.
Sometimes you'll be walking and you don't even know they're behind you. Most of the time you don't feel any tension on the lead. They just walk right behind you. We've been able to see an awful lot of animals that way because we're quiet walking and the llamas are also quiet.
The chill of the morning air is soon forgotten as the breathtaking view of Hell-Roaring Lake comes into view.
Beautiful!
It doesn't get any better than this. Got our buddies, the view, good weather. Guess this is what it's about.
The rocky Finger of Fate spire is impressive. To its left is the silhouette of the Arrowhead Formation.
Look, you sure can tell why they call that birthday cake with those trees on top.
When you stop on the trail to like take in the scenery or take a break, they'll kind of put their nose up to you and sniff you and like say hello. I like to take all the comforts home with me when I come in. Llamas let you do that.
The llamas seem to be enjoying their lunch too.
They eat about like deer, so they eat pine needles, hawthorn brush. They're real easy to keep.
Up here, you can't help but relax. There's no one else around, no phones, no interruptions. It seems the only concern is whether the fish will bite.
It's quiet, peaceful. You get to hear the waterfalls that are hidden in the gullies, the creek running, the changes in the clouds and the sun bring different light on the peaks. And you don't get that feeling when you're driving by in a car.
Llamas make pristine areas like this available to children and their families. It's a special experience for everyone. These trips make lasting memories.
You can't get anything better for kids, I don't think, than to get them out here with family and you know, these times are special.
When we're down in the valley and we get so caught up in our jobs, we tend to believe that we live to work. But that's not the case. What we should do is maybe work to live and take that time to enjoy what Idaho has to offer.
So true, and something to think about. We'll be right back.
Still to come, pedal the road to adventure in North Idaho.
Welcome back to Exploring Idaho. Did you know mountain biking is one of the fastest growing outdoor sports in the country? Now this is a great activity for the whole family. And if you're a newcomer to the sport, just looking for an exciting place to explore, you might want to check out the backcountry of North Idaho. Here, along the Idaho-Montana border, near the town of Wallace, we found a new trail system under development that could someday be one of the premier mountain biking trails in the country. Countless miles of biking trails crisscross Idaho's Panhandle National Forest. This area is a wonderful natural playground for mountain bikers. Some trails are more advanced than others, but even a novice peddler can enjoy the Loop Creek Trail. The trail is actually an old abandoned railroad bed that winds for 13 miles through some gorgeous high mountain country.
Okay guys, this is one of the more scenic places you're going to see. Right now we can see the three biggest trestles. Right to our right there is the Clear Creek Trestle, there's the Bear Creek, and then way far away down there's the Turkey Creek Trestle. We got a long way to go up around this loop. Remember this when we get to the big trestles, you guys. They may look small from here, but when you get on them, they're huge.
But to get there from here, you'll have to follow the railroad grade through several deep, dark tunnels. For many, this adds a little more intrigue to the ride.
This is 966 feet and the darkest tunnel. Turn your lights on. The tunnels are definitely their own adventure when you're going through them. The first thing you feel is it's much colder. You can feel a little bit of breeze coming through. You can see a pinhole of light at the very end.
What a thrill to go through, 8 to 9 tunnels on the trail system. I don't know of any place else that has this experience, and can give you this scenery, the incredible beauty.
There are 8 more tunnels to brave and 9 trestles to cross on this leg of the trail. The most impressive trestle towers 400 feet above a small canyon.
This is the Clear Creek Trestle. It's the crown jewel of the ride, in my opinion. It's the highest and longest trestle on the whole ride.
As you start out across the trestle, you can look up the ridge and see where you've been, but don't look too long because you'll want to keep your eyes on the road. The adventurous crossing is worth the effort as the beautiful scenery opens up before you.
It's a pretty invigorating feeling, definitely a feeling of freedom. You get up there and you feel like you're on top of the world.
As you pedal the railroad trestle, it's easy to imagine the old steam engines chugging along through here. This was the Milwaukee-St. Paul line from Avery to Taft. At the time of its construction, at the turn of the century, it was considered the most expensive section of railroad track ever built.
This is the town of Adair. They had construction towns every 3 to 5 miles along this whole route where the workers lived. There were probably 900 to 1,000 people at any one time that lived in these little tiny clearings. Adair is about the only place that has any buildings left. And the people that lived here worked on the tunnels, worked on the trestles, and turned this whole thing into a railroad.
It took 35 tunnels in just 60 miles to get trains through the Bitterroot Mountains. Those tunnels provide a great way for outdoor enthusiasts to get into northern Idaho's backcountry. The longest of them is the Taft Tunnel, a massive 1.8-mile hole connecting Montana and Idaho. Unfortunately, the Taft Tunnel was recently sealed off to the public, but members of a newly formed grassroots organization called the Taft Tunnel Preservation Society want to refurbish and reopen the tunnel. That could make this area one of the best mountain biking regions in the country. Steve Judy, an aide to Senator Dirk Kempthorne, is a believer in the project now that he's seen it for himself.
I think it's doable, and I think it's doable where the community and the government and everybody can afford it, and as long as they're working together and you've got good people like we've got that are working on this, it's going to happen.
The Taft Tunnel would be the centerpiece of a trail system that could eventually link up with the Centennial Trail in Montana. That would complete a hiking and biking trail all the way from Spokane to Missoula.
I always feel that everything in the backcountry is really worth saving and the access to it. And I started helping with the Taft Tunnel project, and I was really surprised the first time I came down and saw the backside of this. The beauty and the way that it's basically been untouched since 1910. And the really neat thing here for North Idaho is it has this railroad grade that makes it accessible to people.
Trestles and tunnels, along with the lore of railroad's heyday, make this trip a one-of-a-kind experience. And those lucky enough to try it will be coming back for more.
It's kind of dark and spooky, but at the same time awesome. Something you can just do over and over again and never get tired of it.
There's very little access to this area without that railroad grade. And with that, just about anyone can get back there and see the beauty of the area and just the quiet. When you're up on those trestles and all you can hear is the stream, several hundred feet down below. It does marvelous things for the soul.
A lot of work ahead, but what a great addition to Idaho's outdoor opportunities. We'll be right back.
Up next, we'll visit the old gold rush town of Murray.
The gold rush days of the 1800s. That is a fascinating time in our history. Boomtowns sprang up all around the gold fields as thousands of miners scrambled to work their claims. Most of those boomtowns died away quickly, but a few are still standing today, and we're going to take you to one of them, Murray, Idaho, where the lure of gold is still alive.
We got to see if we're making any money here now. Many years ago, around the turn of the century, there was probably lots of money made around here, just a gold panning, doing it this way. Uh-oh, Look at here. Look at here. We got something coming in here. Here's pay dirt. Yeah, those are nice little flakes.
The Murray mining claims are producing gold, but not like they used to. The old-time prospectors mined nearly 500,000 ounces of gold nuggets from this area. At the height of the gold rush back in 1884, over 5,000 gold seekers lived in the bustling town of Murray. Now, only 60 residents are left in this sleepy little town. Longtime resident Walt Almquist likes living here, and he has a great collection of artifacts.
That's an old jaw crusher there. That's what I started working in the mill on, a jaw crusher, crushing ore.
Walt's been collecting for over 30 years. He's collected so much stuff that he decided to share his prized possessions with you by opening up a museum. You'll find everything from fine china to moonshine.
That there jug over there, them bottles they're come from the bootlegging days. Pretty good stuff. We used to have pretty good times in Murray when people used to drink. We used to have a bar full at 6 o'clock in the morning. But you never see anything like that anymore.
Walt is one of the few left over from Murray's good old days. Although the hardy gold seekers who settled Murray are now gone, their memories are kept alive by people like forester Carl Ritchie.
Most of the characters in here were just local town folks who, in their short histories, some of them had illustrious pasts.
People like A.J. Pritchard, the first person to discover gold in the area, and the famous Molly Be Damned, a resident of the Red Light District.
Even though she was a lady of the night, Maggie formed an illustrious duty in keeping the local folks entertained, and her best effort was during the cholera epidemic of 1888 when she nursed numerous miners back to health, which she herself later succumbed to and died in 1888.
A century later, Molly is remembered at the Spragg Pole Cafe. Her likeness peers from a second-story window, and every year the townsfolk still throw a party to honor Molly.
Oh God, I think she'd love it. We have bands, you know, people singing. It's great. We have a great time.
The town still has its old-time atmosphere. There are several original buildings standing along Main Street. Built back in 1884, this old building was once a store. Today, it's one of the local watering holes, known as the Bedroom Gold Mine, and there's a story behind that name. It started when Frank Griebel's uncle, the owner of the building at the time, decided he was sleeping on a fortune. So he pursued his dream by tunneling right through the bedroom floor.
Took a chainsaw and cut a hole in the floor and started digging. And as soon as he hit bedrock, then he started picking up real good gold. The biggest nugget he caught down here was an 8.5-ounce nugget, about the size of a spud.
Frank has followed in his uncle's footsteps and continues to work the claim. Though he probably won't find any potato-sized nuggets, he finds enough gold to keep him coming back for more.
Yeah, she's starting to come up. You see how it was underneath that black sand? There's a pretty good color there.
Next door to the Bedroom Gold Mine is the old Masonic Temple, dating back to 1886. It's one of the oldest Masonic temples in Idaho. Walt DeDore has been headmaster at the lodge for over 30 years, and he's still active today. Little has changed since he first started coming here, and he likes it that way.
I'm at home here. Oh, it fits. I petitioned this lodge in 1936, got accepted, and then I was elected right here to this chair. No progress at all.
Over the years, Walt has taken care of the hall, and he has a lot of interesting memories of the meetings here.
If this building could talk, it'd scare you.
The town of Murray is full of tall tales and fascinating characters, people as colorful as the stories they like to tell. It's nice to see that history and memories can keep a town like Murray alive. Now, if you'd like more information on the places we visited today, stay tuned. We'll have that for you next.
Coming up, take a stroll through the lush Idaho Botanical Gardens.
Welcome back to Exploring Idaho. Here's how you can get more information on the stories you've seen on today's show. Call 1-800-443-2461 and ask for the field notes on show number 115. And just a reminder before we end today's show that it's important to get out and enjoy the outdoors. Whether it's a strenuous mountain biking adventure or simply a stroll through a quiet garden like Boise's Botanical Garden, be sure you make the time. We'll see you again next month as we continue exploring Idaho.